Welcome to the official podcast series by POTENZA, where innovation meets insight. In this series, we dive deep into the world of SAP, explore the power of robotic process automation, and unlock the true potential of data analytics. Whether you're a tech enthusiast, a business leader, or just curious about the digital transformation shaping our world, you're in the right place. Tune in, stay curious, and let's explore the future of enterprise technology together. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube for more powerful insights. Now, let's get into today's episode.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
So if you are leading a growing business, you probably know exactly what it feels like when things start getting complex. You're dealing with real scale, needing data for decisions, but maybe your operations are still, a bit disconnected. Spreadsheets here, accounting tool there.
Yeah, that kind of patchwork approach. And it creates these three big strategic pain points we see hitting SMEs all the time. First, you've got data silos, right? Fragmentation means nobody really sees the full picture.
Right.
Second, there's just a huge amount of time lost on manual processes. It really drains productivity.
Yeah.
And finally, those hidden operational inefficiencies that just sort of creep in and start eating away at your margins, slowing down growth. They're not just annoyances, they are real roadblocks.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into a specific technology built to tackle those exact problems. SAP Business One, or SAP B1. It's an enterprise resource planning system, an ERP, but it's really engineered specifically for growing businesses, for SMEs.
And our mission today isn't just to list features. We want to unpack how SAP B1 actually helps you achieve operational excellence. It does this by integrating all those core business functions into, like a single central nervous system for the company.
A central nervous system, I like that.
Yeah. We want to show you the kind of measurable, real-world change this brings. It's about shifting your teams from just reporting on past issues to actually being strategists focused on what's next.
Okay, let's unpack that then. Starting with the basics, the architecture. You mentioned integrating finance, sales, procurement, inventory, manufacturing. Why is having all that together so critical?
Well, fundamentally, it comes down to the integrity of your data. When all those functions are truly unified, you get rid of the data silos. So every piece of information, a sales order comes in, a shipment is received, a customer pays, it's instantly reflected everywhere in the system. That creates what we call a single source of truth.
Okay.
Without that unified view, honestly, your decision-making is always going to be based on incomplete, often outdated information. It just is.
That sounds powerful, definitely. But, when you hear enterprise-grade functionality, you often think huge complexity, massive cost, right? The sort of thing SMEs usually try to run away from.
Right, yeah.
How does B1 make that kind of power genuinely accessible for a smaller team?
Okay, so that's the strategic difference. You're right. Traditional ERPs were built for giant corporations with huge IT teams. SAP B1, though, it delivers that same kind of depth, sophisticated reporting, tight controls, but it's specifically tailored for the SME environment.
Tailored how, exactly?
Well, it's more accessible. The implementation timelines are shorter. It's generally easier to manage day to day. And crucially, it's designed to scale with you without needing you to suddenly hire, a massive internal tech department right off the bat.
Okay.
It basically brings that big company control down to the scale where it can actually have the biggest, fastest impact for a growing business.
So getting the power without the overwhelming operational burden.
Got it. Let's dig into some specifics then. Where do growing businesses usually feel the pain first? Often it's cash flow and finance, right?
Oh, absolutely. Financial management is often the biggest source of manual headaches. We're talking about spending days, literally days, on month-end closing, manually entering journal entries, bank reconciliation. It's this constant cycle of trying to match up data from 5 different spreadsheets or systems.
Yeah, sounds exhausting. And the sources we looked at really highlighted how B1 tackles this head-on with automation.
Exactly. Think about automating those routine accounting tasks, the bank recs, handling multiple currencies smoothly, and those dreaded period-end closing procedures.
Things that used to eat up days of skilled accountant time.
Right. They get streamlined into automated workflows. But the real strategic gain, I think, is the shift it enables in reporting.
Okay, how so?
Well, instead of waiting, say, 3 weeks for some static historical report that tells you why you lost money last month. Yeah, too late then.
Exactly. Integrated dashboards give you real-time insights. The aha moment for many businesses is when they realize they can drill down from a high-level profit analysis right into the specific transaction details in seconds.
Wow. Okay.
You stop waiting for information and start actively exploring it instantly. That speeds up the whole cycle of analyzing budgets, spotting variances, and actually making decisions.
That makes sense. So moving from money to materials. Inventory, another classic challenge for SMEs, right?
Definitely. It's a real balancing act. Tie up too much cash in stock and your cash flow suffers.
Or worse, run out of stock and lose sales because your spreadsheet wasn't quite right.
Precisely. It's often very reactive, kind of a firefighting process based on guesswork. B1 aims to transform inventory management into something proactive and data-driven.
How does it do that? What's the core mechanism?
The absolute core is real-time stock visibility, knowing exactly what you have and where it is across every single location, warehouse, shop floor, maybe even service vans. It eliminates that manual guesswork when a sales order comes in.
Okay, so beyond just knowing the count, does it offer more sophisticated controls? Things SMEs might think are out of reach.
Oh, for sure. Especially for manufacturers or distributors, the source has really emphasized features like batch and serial number tracking.
Ah, right. Traceability.
Exactly. Super crucial for quality control. Imagine a product recall with B1. You can know exactly which customer got which batch or serial number instantly without digging through piles of paper.
That saves enormous time and potential liability.
Absolutely. And then there's the warehouse automation side, things like integrating barcode scanning, optimizing where items are stored in the warehouse, bin locations. These things specifically cut down on data entry errors during receiving and picking.
Which directly impacts accuracy and speed.
Hugely. That accuracy boost often means you don't need to hire that extra person just to manage warehouse paperwork and track things down.
That visibility sounds key. And of course, accurately forecasting what inventory you'll need depends on getting your purchasing right. Which brings us neatly to procurement.
Yeah, streamlining that whole procure-to-pay cycle. Procurement is another area where inefficiencies can just run rampant in growing companies.
How so? What goes wrong typically?
Well, teams might be buying parts based on manual requests. Maybe they're not fully aware of the actual current inventory levels, or perhaps they don't have visibility into the finance team's latest budget constraints. This leads to, rush orders, buying too much, paying premium prices.
Okay, so what's the specific B1 fix for that?
It introduces automated, standardized workflows. So purchase requests get routed digitally for approval. The system can even automatically generate purchase orders based on preset inventory minimums and actual demand forecasts.
Right, taking the guesswork out.
Exactly. But maybe the biggest operational win here is how it simplifies the three-way match.
Matching the PO, the receipt, and the invoice.
Precisely. Automatically verifying that the purchase order you sent, the goods receipt confirming what you actually received, and the vendor's invoice all line up perfectly. When that's manual, errors and payment delays are almost guaranteed. Automate it, and suddenly your cash flow is better protected, and your supplier relationships get stronger too because you pay on time.
Yeah, that integration really pays off there. It's not just purchasing software. It's connected to everything else.
Totally. It becomes about holistic supply chain visibility. When procurement data flows seamlessly into inventory, production schedules, and finance, your purchasing teams can finally make decisions that are truly budget aware.
Okay.
They're not just order takers anymore. They're making strategic contributions, ensuring spend aligns with real-time needs and constraints, all visible right there in the system.
All right, let's move further down the value chain then onto the manufacturing floor itself. Production planning, I've seen plenty of spreadsheets and whiteboards trying to manage that.
Oh, yeah. Classic scenario. And if your bill of materials, the recipe for your product isn't 100% accurate or instantly accessible, you're looking at costly delays, wasted materials, scrap.
Big problems. How does B1 bring intelligence into that workflow?
Well, it starts by automating the management of that bill of materials, the BOBA, and it links it directly to your live inventory data.
So you know instantly if you have the parts needed for a job.
Exactly. No more starting a production run only to find out you're missing a critical component. Then it automates generating the work orders and helps schedule production based on actual resource availability machines, people, etc.
And you mentioned something earlier about cost monitoring that sounded crucial for margins.
Yes, real-time cost monitoring. This is huge. Instead of waiting weeks for accounting to figure out the cost of a production run after the fact.
Right, the historical post-mortem.
Yeah. With B1, you can see production expenses, labor hours being logged, materials being consumed, overhead allocation as they actually happen.
Okay, that's a big shift.
It fundamentally changes things. You move from just analyzing past costs to proactively managing costs. You can spot profit leaks almost immediately. Plus, the resource planning side helps identify potential bottlenecks before they happen and even helps schedule preventive maintenance to cut down on that expensive, unexpected downtime.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've covered the back office, the warehouse, the factory floor. Let's shift to the front office. Customer experience is everything today, right? How does B1 help improve sales and customer service using all this data?
By essentially unifying the front and back office, all that crucial information, sales orders, the customer's complete history, any special pricing agreements, records of interactions, it all comes together.
So sales and service teams aren't working blind.
Exactly. They get a genuine 360-degree view of the customer within the same system they use to check inventory availability or track order fulfillment.
That sounds way more powerful than just having a standalone CRM system somewhere else.
It really is. Think about it. You're looking at a customer's full purchase history and maybe their current payment status right next to the status of their latest order. No more calling finance or shouting over to the warehouse to get answers.
Yeah, that saves time and frustration for everyone, including the customer.
Definitely. And then you layer the analytics on top. The system can use that rich history to start revealing patterns. It can help sales identify, say, high potential segments for cross-selling, or maybe spot customers who seem likely to churn based on changing buying habits.
Proactive insights.
Right. So you can offer truly personalized service, maybe proactive outreach, all based on actual data, not just guesswork. That builds loyalty.
Okay, this feels like a good point to talk about the intelligence layer more broadly. You have all this unified data. Now what? How do you turn it into something actionable, especially across the whole organization?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. We often see growing companies collecting tons of data, but they really struggle to turn it into useful intelligence beyond just basic reports.
The data-rich, information-poor problem.
Exactly that. SAP B1 comes with pretty robust built-in analytics tools. You can create customized dashboards showing the key performance indicators, the KPIs that matter most to each specific role, not just a generic dashboard for the CEO.
So a sales manager sees sales velocity, inventory manager sees stock turns, finance sees cash flow, tailored views.
Precisely. It's no longer just the finance team or maybe an IT person generating all the essential reports. Every manager can actually explore the data relevant to them interactively.
And what does that enable? That interactivity.
It enables speed and understanding. The system lets managers drill down. So if they see a high-level metric is off, maybe sales are down in a region, they can click, explore, and get right down to the transaction-level details to understand why it's happening.
Finding the root cause quickly.
Yes. It basically democratizes data access. It empowers each department to be more self-sufficient, more performance-oriented, because they have the information they need at their fingertips.
Now, one more crucial piece in today's world. Businesses don't operate in a vacuum. They use other tools too, right? E-commerce platforms, maybe specialized logistics software, marketing automation. Does the ERP play nice with others?
It absolutely has to. It needs to act as that central nervous system, like we said. SAP B1 is designed with an open architecture. It has extensive integration capabilities built in or available through partners.
So it can connect seamlessly to things like Shopify or Magento or maybe a third-party warehouse system.
Correct. The goal is to ensure data consistency across your entire tech stack and critically eliminate duplicate data entry.
The bane of many operations. Manually copying order details from the website into the ERP.
Exactly. That's where so many errors creep in. When B1 is integrated properly, that data flows automatically. An online order can immediately trigger a pick ticket in the warehouse and create the necessary accounting entries, all without anyone manually touching it.
Okay, that level of connectivity ensures data accuracy flows through the whole process.
Right. When all your systems are working off the same accurate data foundation, you get this incredible boost in operational accuracy and speed. You can automate really complex workflows that cross different systems, which dramatically improves collaboration and just cuts down cycle times everywhere.
So let's pull this all together for someone listening. We've gone from finance to inventory, production, sales, analytics. What's the big picture here? What's the fundamental shift we're talking about?
I think you summed it up well earlier. It's moving from spreadsheet chaos to centralized intelligence.
Right.
And from constantly reacting and firefighting to being proactive and optimizing based on real data. Our sources consistently show that organizations making this shift with B1 see some really significant measurable results. These aren't trivial numbers.
Okay, let's hit those numbers. What kind of improvements are we talking about?
We're seeing things like 40 to 60% reductions in data entry errors. Just think about the impact of that on quality and rework alone.
What else?
Reporting time shrinking dramatically from taking days down to hours or even minutes in some cases. That fundamentally changes how quickly management can react to opportunities or threats.
Okay.
Inventory carrying costs often declining by 20 to 30%. That's cash freed up, directly impacting the bottom line thanks to better forecasting and visibility.
Wow.
And those painful financial close cycles, compressing from weeks down to just a few days. Imagine giving your finance team back weeks of their time every single month.
Yeah, these aren't just small tweaks. They represent a fundamental change in capacity, freeing up people to focus on more valuable strategic work instead of just admin.
Exactly.
So to wrap up, let's offer some concrete advice. If someone's considering this kind of transformation, what are the absolute must-dos to maximize the return on investment? Let's call them pro tips.
Okay, pro tip number 1, and this one is non-negotiable in my book. Process mapping first.
Before you even touch the software?
Absolutely. Before implementation, you must invest time in thoroughly mapping out your current processes. Understand the workflows, identify every single bottleneck, and define crystal clear objectives for what you want to improve.
Why is that so critical?
Because if you rush into implementation without that clarity, you risk just automating your existing broken processes. You'll make the mess run faster, maybe, but you won't achieve true optimization. You need to redesign for efficiency first.
Got it. Map first, then automate. What's pro tip number 2?
Tip 2 focuses on the people. This is so often overlooked. Technology itself doesn't drive transformation. It's people embracing and using the technology effectively.
Right, change management.
Exactly. You need to plan for significant investment in end-user training and ongoing support. And critically, that training needs to be role-specific.
Don't train everyone on everything.
Please don't. Train the sales team on the sales and CRM functions they'll use every day. Train production planners on the production modules. Make it relevant. And crucially, identify and empower power users within each department.
Champions for the system.
Yes. People who really get it and can help their colleagues. Because even the most powerful ERP delivers minimal value if your employees find ways to work around it with their old spreadsheets because they weren't trained or supported properly.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, pro tip number 3.
Leverage analytics from the start. Don't treat business intelligence and reporting as an afterthought, something you'll get to later.
Set it up from day 1.
Yes. Configure those custom dashboards right away. Start tracking the KPIs you define during your process mapping. Use the insights you gain from that data to continually refine your processes. Optimization isn't a one-time project, it's an ongoing journey, and the analytics are your compass.
Okay, so map processes, invest in people, and use analytics continuously.
Got it. If you synthesize all that, SAP B1 isn't just, an accounting package or an inventory system. It's really a platform for building operational excellence across the entire business. But achieving that potential always comes down to aligning those 3 key elements: the right people, well-defined processes, and clean, accessible data.
And businesses that manage to align those 3 things.
They emerge stronger, definitely more agile, and they operate with fundamentally lower costs baked into their structure. They're just much better positioned to seize growth opportunities without immediately hitting those operational walls every time they try to scale up.
Yeah, they build the foundation for sustainable growth.
Right. So really the question for listeners isn't whether optimization is necessary in today's market. It's pretty much essential for survival, let alone growth. The real question is how to approach that transformation journey in a way that minimizes the disruption and maximizes or accelerates the value you get back.
So a final thought to leave people with.
Maybe this. What's one step, just one step you could take today to start mapping out the current process bottlenecks in your own business? Just starting that mapping process can be the first concrete move towards that strategic shift we've been talking about.
That's a great, actionable question to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the POTENZA podcast series, where we decode SAP, automate with RPA, and analyze with precision. We hope you found today's conversation insightful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the technologies transforming tomorrow's enterprise. Got questions or ideas for a future episode? Drop them in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time. Thank you.